You're listening to the Podcast Detroit Network. Visit www.podcastdetroit.com for more information. The views and opinions expressed on this show do not necessarily represent those of the network, its advertisers, owners, or sponsors.
Thank you for hanging out with us. This is the one and only IT in the D Show, episode 233. Hope your Super Bowl hangover is gone. Guests this week include Michelle Gilbert's in the house. She's the VP of PR for Comcast. She's going to be talking about some expansion plans and some pretty cool apps that they're covering the Olympics with. Definitely want to stay tuned for that. Segment 3, we got Caston Thomas in the house. There is some, pretty cool new security tools coming over the horizon. That's his job, to keep up with all the new technologies, and he's going to share a few with us. So definitely stay tuned for that. And then also
segment 4, we have so much Super Bowl ranting to do. Absolutely,
Super Bowl, and then I'm going to be ranting about our good friends at Spirit Airlines. But hey, do us a favor. This is coming from our friends at Google. When you are building an application, you need it to be fast, secure, and always evolving. With Kubernetes Engine on Google Cloud Platform, developers can deploy fully managed containerized apps. Kubernetes Engine combines automatic scaling, updates, and reliable self-healing infrastructure with open source flexibility to cut down development cycles and speed up time to market. Do us a favor. To learn more about the Google Kubernetes Engine, visit g.co/get GKE. That's g.co/get.gke. Dave, you may fire when ready.
You're listening to the Podcast Detroit Network. Visit www.podcastdetroit.com for more information.
Following program is intended for mature audiences.
I'm Wyatt, that's Gary, you're Bob, and you're Dave. This is the IT in the D Show.
This is Max Headroom. And what you're about to witness is one of the most sinister-sounding intros to a trailer to one of the greatest epics ever.
This is Billy D. Williams. Bob and Dave and I are enjoying a Colt 45 right now. And remember, IT in the D, it works every time.
Just where do you guys think you are?
The Library of Congress?
Detroit? Beyond the sun?
Any of those right?
Take him to Detroit.
No! No, not Detroit! No! No, please! Anything but that! No!
You will never find the more wretched hive of scum and villainy.
Then don't come! Shut up!
Hi, this is Christy Swanson, and you're listening to the IT in the D Show. And Bob and Dave touch my hoo-hoos.
So what happens when you tap the angry beaver in the bunghole?
Exactly. Come on. Christ. What the hell with this? I'm calling a break. We'll come back to the show.
This is Guilfoyle from Silicon Valley, and the only two guys I hate more than Dinesh are Bob and Dave. Suck it, guys.
What's up, everybody? This is Billy Zapka. Sweep the leg. Listening to IT in the D Show. No mercy.
I may have to wipe the beak off.
Hi, this is Kelly LeBrock from Weird Science. So, Bob and Dave, what would you little maniacs like to do first?
Are we at a break yet?
Hey, this is Zach McGowan from Planet Earth. You're listening to IT in the D Show.
Hi, I'm Ernie Hudson, and you're listening to IT in the D. All you nerds out there.
Nerds.
Nerds!
What is a nerd?
I'm a nerd, and I'm pretty proud of it.
Hey, Detroit, this is Anthony Michael Hall. You're listening to my buddies Bob and Dave on IT in the D.
This is Scott Steiner, Big Pump Pump. The IT in the D Show is your hookup. Holler if you hear me.
You're in your underwear? I'm in my underwear. Here, let's hang out.
No, I'm sorry, honey. I have a headache.
I definitely want to see Bob in his underwear. That's a fact.
Hey, everybody. This is Tony Todd. What's happening? You may know me from Candyman, The Rock, Sushi Girls, Zoom, Night of the Living Dead. A lot of pop culture media madness. Anyway, you're listening to IT in the D Show. Business.
I'm totally into Dave, but not so much Bob.
This is Robert Hayes, the Jet Striker to my mother. When I'm not hanging out at the Magumbo bar, I'm listening to the IT and the D Show. It's worse than Detroit.
Is there such thing as a meat hangover?
I love my Monday meat stick.
Hey, folks, this is WWE Hall of Famer Hacksaw Jim Duggan, and you're listening to the IT and the D Show. Tough guys. Ho!
So,
What would you little maniacs like to do first?
The question isn't what are we going to do, the question is what aren't we going to do?
Ludicrous speed! Sir, had you better buckle up? Now buckle this! Ludicrous speed! Go!
Welcome back. Thank you for hanging out with us once again. This is the one and only IT in the D show. We are at a post Super Bowl hangover edition, episode 233. We're broadcasting here in Studio One in Podcast Detroit in beautiful Royal Oak, Michigan. This is Bob, the sales guy, hanging out with Dave the Geek. Nuri the F&G is out on business. Randy, I do the Twitter's Walker, is in studio. Find us online, itinthed.com, and do us a favor. Give us a like on the socials and subscribe to us everywhere fine podcasts are sold.
Hey, before we dive in, though, as you were just talking about, so when you're building an application as an app dev, I get it, you need it to be fast, secure, and always evolving. With Kubernetes Engine on Google Cloud Platform, developers can deploy fully managed containerized apps quickly and easily. Google's been running production workloads in containers for over 15 years. We build the best of what we learned into Kubernetes, the industry-leading open-source container orchestrator. Kubernetes Engine combines automatic scaling, updates, and reliable self-healing infrastructure with open-source flexibility to cut down development cycles and speed up time to market. Click to learn more about Kubernetes Engine. That's g.co/getgke. That's g.co/getgke.
How did they get g.co?
Because they're Google.
Oh, yeah. Good point. Good point. So, yeah, I don't know why that we do this to ourselves on the Super Bowl. It's like I must have consumed 8,000 to 9,000 calories worth of the worst food imaginable. Usually Christmas parties, you make like nice food.
Right.
Super Bowl is all about like abusing your body, White casserole, like just these
bad beer, bad shots.
All the bad beers.
Yeah,
right. And then we eat nothing today. So your body's like going, what
right.
the hell is going on? But I'll be honest with you. It was one of the more entertaining games as far as the Super Bowl, like in recent memory. Like,
I wouldn't know. I fast forwarded through it to watch the commercials.
The commercials. Right. And I'm not going to lie, this is probably one of the worst years for commercials in I can remember.
It is, and we are so going to dive in on all that nonsense in segment 4. But before we get rolling with stuff, I want to make sure we cover. So we had free podcast day here this past Saturday. It was amazing. We had a bunch of shows come out, a lot of new shows. We've already actually had 3 that want to get started this week with regularly recurring slots. Always a good thing to see. We have our Ann Arbor event tomorrow night. That is over at Pretzel Bell.
Down in the basement.
Down in the basement. So Randy, I'm sure you can. Randy will be there.
I'll be there.
It's okay. You can find Randy. He's safe, mostly.
I might be there. I don't got nothing to do.
I feel like we should make an appearance.
Kids have
like
catechism on Tuesdays, and yeah, I want to start going.
Like once a year, we'll hit the Ann Arbor.
Yeah.
It's our time. We're due. And then on the 15th, we have the Metro Detroit event. That's going to be over at Tequila Blue.
And Astronomicon this weekend.
And then this weekend, it begins. Con season starts this weekend. We will be hanging out with our buddy Ming. Huge shout out. They have actually launched a podcast studio out in Jersey. So we'll be swapping notes and working together more in the future. And
we have one goal in mind.
We have one goal.
Napoleon Dynamite's going to be there. I don't even know what his name is. I know it's John Heater.
Oh, I didn't know his name. John something.
We're pulling him into pub crawling with Ming in downtown Detroit.
Damn right we are.
So pay attention.
Let's be honest. It's not pub crawling. It's dive bar crawling because that's what we do.
Whatever works.
Don't class it up.
But keep on the Facebook IT and the D page.
There will be photos. There will be self-mocking. It'll be amazing, I'm sure.
Only for the selfie. I don't even want to hang out there and ask him questions. I just selfie and then I take an Uber back home and louch. Just kidding. We want to hang out with Napoleon Dynamite, but it should be fun. If you haven't, this is like the first year for Astronomicon. It's a pretty stellar lineup they have coming into Detroit.
Like hell.
Yeah, I'm kind of excited.
Well, we'll be there. We've got a booth and we're sponsoring the cosplay contest. So we're looking forward to seeing some outstanding cosplays because there should be. I mean, they do a lot of fun stuff and a lot of people put a lot of work into their cosplays. I know Mara, is like going nuts with her She-Hulk thing. She was in here on the way station a couple weeks ago. And she's going all out with like comic book accurate, yada, yada, yada. Yeah. Wow.
We'll be in our Pod DET t-shirts. Can't miss us.
We will be.
But during the Super Bowl, we were all arguing, and then I had to shush everyone because we got our 30-second pre-solo trailer. And I had to
the mini trailer,
mini trailer, and then the extended one was this morning on Good Morning America or today or whatever.
It was on YouTube.
But yeah, and exactly. I didn't watch it on Good Morning either. But I'm not gonna lie, I was reading a lot on the fan sites and all the forums, and people are complaining he doesn't look like Harrison Ford. I'm like, listen, if this guy was like a spitting image and trying to do an exact like voice, you would have complained about that.
True.
No one complained about Chris Pine doing Kirk.
Right.
He looked nothing or acted nothing like Kirk. Could you imagine?
Didn't
right. Could you imagine Pine
like
doing
this.
that? Right. Exactly. It would have been horrible.
He never once sang Rocket Man.
No.
No, I mean, honestly, so the trailer was good. I do like that they're showing a little bit of the backstory. So you've got Maz Kanata.
That was Maz. I saw it and I wasn't sure.
So that was one of the, more enigmatic things.
Well, it was him basically at 18 years old going into the fleet or going into the academy.
Well, so yeah, I mean, like, for those who haven't followed, that didn't follow the EU and all that stuff, I mean, the backstory of Han Solo is that he joined the Empire, because he wanted to be a pilot, and then he got kicked out, because he didn't want to be part of the Empire, and wound up rescuing Chewie. So you do see Chewie in both trailers.
The best line I read on the fan forums was, so wait a minute, if the lifespan of a Wookiee is 400 years, is Han Solo like Chewbacca's third dog? Like
pretty much. Well, so and the backstory is, and I wonder how much they'll get into this in the movie. And one of the big splits with Han and the Empire is that Han rescues Chewie from a slave ship. The Wookiees were enslaved and yada, yada, yada. And that's how, and so Chewbacca owes him a life debt. That's how they get together and all that stuff. It was, interesting to see the Falcon, the
clean
early Lando. I'm not so sure about Woody Harrelson. I don't know that I'm going to be able to accept that in the Star Wars universe. I'm not going to lie to you.
You know what? So what? I just got done watching the new Planet of the Apes where he was trying to do his worst Apocalypse Now impersonation.
I know.
So I just need to cleanse my palate.
And then
Billy Ho's not going to be in it either. He's not going to try to dunk.
I know. But, and honestly, the thing with the new trailer, I was like, dude, what's up with the space octopus? They're in space. There's ships everywhere.
Why can't there be octopus in space? Octopi.
Because it's space. Like,
maybe they can breathe in space. I don't know. It did have a very look and feel to Rogue One, which I was kind of happy about.
Yeah.
You know what? Again, I'm gonna go into it like watching it like an 8-year-old.
I'm gonna go into it. Yeah.
I'm convinced for the rest of my life because I can't live the rest of my life complaining about Star Wars movies because we're gonna get them every. Because that's the problem now. Fanboy, I didn't do what I wanted, so I'm gonna complain. It sucked. And I'm just going to go into it like an 8-year-old, just enjoy it and just whatever.
Yeah, no, I am. I mean, I'm curious about it, like with the issues they had with, firing the directors and all that fun stuff and, being worried about, they brought in an acting coach for a year because they weren't sure about, the Han Solo actor and all that stuff. I'm just curious to see how it all comes together.
If he says Solo, Han Solo, I'll complain on the internet if I do that.
Right.
Other than that, I'm going to be pretty good.
Well, I did like the end of the little teaser trailer. It was like, "What's your name?" And they just broke to the movie title.
Right. They were complaining about the movie title. Like, it's cheap. It looks. They're complaining already. And it's like,
I'm sorry. You throw that lettering up and it says Boba Fett. Yeah, exactly. Fanboys are jizzing in their pants everywhere.
And you're going to get a Boba Fett.
Right.
So so timeline wise, how old was he in 4? 30, 35?
Mid-30s, yeah.
So he's 18 in this. So someone brought it up to me, like, is he the age when Jyn Erso was that little kid?
Yep.
Like, probably the same timeline, like right then when.
Yeah, so you're somewhere between 3 and 4.
Right.
In this movie.
But right around when Jyn Erso would have been born. So yeah, you wonder how many other weird it's going to be Cameo City. Remember?
I remember.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, and that's, again, my theory about all Star Wars movies moving forward.
Yeah. So I'm full of pent up anger and rage, not because of the White Castles I ate yesterday or because of the beer I drank or because of the Super Bowl because I didn't have any horse in the game. I needed a vent and so bear with me. I haven't done this in a long time. I'm going to talk about my friends at Spirit Airlines.
You have friends?
No, I have no friends. So I got to fly, right? And me being a good corporate citizen, we were told by our superiors to book the cheapest flight possible, right? And I know what I'm getting into when I go to Spirit Airlines. It is a Greyhound with wings, the lowest common denominator. No, there's not going to be entertainment. There's no going to be magazines. There's going to be the stewardesses. There's nothing. I know I'm getting nothing except for not dying, hopefully, when I fly Spirit Airlines. So let's do some math. The flight for Spirit to go to Tampa last week was $170.
Okay.
To fly Delta was $369, which wouldn't have been approved in my in my system. So I had to pick Spirit. To check a bag on, they call a personal item a purse or a backpack. To carry a piece of luggage, $65 each way. So that is $130 to put a bag above my head on the plane.
That's amazing.
So now
here's
where I'm angry at them, and I knew that going in. So no, that wasn't a surprise. I had to pay for the bag. What got me was, okay, do you want to pick your seat?
Mm-hmm.
Or, for $20, or it's $40 for the first class seat, $20 to pick a seat. I'm like, well, I'm not sitting in the middle. If you ever met me, I'm not a small human being. If I sit in the middle all the way from Florida, I'll kill myself.
And probably others.
Right, so I pay the $20. They give me a selection of maybe 8 seats, right? They made it look like it was scarce and sold out.
Of course.
So I'm like, oh, crap, because I could have gone back and not bought the seat, but it looks like the plane's full. So what do? I pay the $20 and I get the seat. Now, you want to pay another $6 and get zone 2 so you book early. Well, hell, if the plane's full and I got to put my shit on the overhead, yes, I want to pay the $6 to get in early because otherwise it's going to be full up top, right?
Okay, so I'm mathing. You're pretty close to that Delta.
Oh, I'm way over. Hey, all of a sudden it said, yeah, we're boarding now for Detroit. All passengers, come on out. I'm like, and then
Wait, what?
Then 20 people get on the plane, and there's no line, and I'm sitting there, I'm waiting for zone 2, or because I thought that was first class,
right?
No, that was everybody on the plane. So I board in next. And that's when I tried to get on without checking my bag, but she made me turn around and pay the $65. And then I get on the plane and it's empty. So the seat I paid $20 for is a full row. There's 10 rows in front of me and 10 rows behind with nobody in them. They put me sitting next to 2 people. And the first thing she says is, oh, you can move anywhere you want. I go, why did I pay $20 to pick my seat? And she's, you can move wherever you want. And these are the flight crew, they've given up on life.
Right. They're absolutely done with everything.
They're praying to God they'll have 2 years FAA flight experience so they can get off this godforsaken company.
This is their equivalent of the help desk job.
Oh,
to go get a better
and they don't give you, they sell you a bottle of water's $3 to have a water on the flight.
Oh, that's nice of them.
Luckily, they didn't kill me on the way home. And then I thanked them on Twitter.
You did.
For not having to charge me $5 to pee on the flight. I expected the scene in PCU where the chick's outside the toilet with the roll of toilet paper going number 1 or number 2, $3. Honest to God, it's the most saddest. It was the saddest flight experience. And I've flown them before, and I know what I'm I know when I eat at Burger King, my stomach's gonna hurt. But every once in a while, you feel hey, they got 2 for $2 Whoppers. I'm going to get one, and then you're sick for a week.
So, but are you mad at them, or are you mad at your travel department that doesn't understand
every company
all of the extras that get added on to shit puts you on a better flight?
Dude, every company I've ever worked for, I'm at Cisco, one of the biggest companies in the world. They would make me take flights with legs on them that would chew up a whole day to fly. And I'm like, if I just fly direct, I can get there at 9 in the morning on a 7 o'clock flight. If I got to go through Chicago Midway, I'm not going to get there till 2. I could have had 2 meetings. Yeah. And they don't think like that. They want their CapEx, their OpEx spend down on expenses. And it's oh my God, you just don't, it drives me absolutely nuts. I know these are first world problems because I didn't die, and I got to sit on a seat and fly like
in a tube.
Yeah, 39,000 feet above the ground. Like, so I mean, I get it, but no, it's like that. I think they, and there was not a business travel on that flight to save. It was all families coming from God knows wherever.
Right. So I feel almost a little bit bad. So we did our cryptocurrency episode a couple weeks ago, and got everybody all excited about cryptocurrency, and ever since then, bad things have happened.
Is it our fault? Did we do this? I'm gonna see like Financial Times, like local
those
podcast.
damn IT and the D guys
gets everyone excited about crypto. No, like
Bitcoin is now below 7,000. It was almost at 20,000 when we did our episode. Ethereum and all of the other cryptocurrencies have also similarly tanked.
So everyone
it wiped 60 billion with a B dollars out of the marketplace.
All the people that were paper rich for a day.
Yep.
That's what I joked. I go, oh crap, I lost $10,000. I mean $15,000. I mean $3,000. I mean $4,000. Again, if you're not, if you haven't listened to that episode, it's one of my favorite episodes we've ever done on the cryptocurrency. Give it a look. See, it was what, 231?
Yep.
Episode 231. Phenomenal. It was a great listen. I listened to it when I was in Florida in the Uber, or not in the Uber, in the rental car driving back. Phenomenal listen.
No, very, very good. But in the meantime, apparently, if you do an on-demand dog walking app,
you know what?
Named WAG, you can get $300 million from a venture capital firm.
So this is Uber for dog walking. You say, I need dog walked.
$100 million.
They talk about the bubble, Dave.
On what planet does it take $300 million to do Lawn Guru? We've had them in here.
Yeah.
On-demand lawn cutting, snow removal. They didn't get $300 million, and I would say that's a far more valuable service than on-demand dog walking.
Did you see the talent they attracted? And like as far as the executive team,
oh, it's insane.
And like, I don't get it.
But yeah, like $300 million.
Like it's pets.com 2018.
Right.
Like it's no different.
With the sock puppet and Super Bowl ads. It'll be amazing.
Right.
And then they'll go out of business.
I'm surprised they didn't have a Super Bowl ad. We'll talk about it, but like the dumb companies that did Super Bowl ads.
All I know is, dude, yeah, kids, don't eat Tide Pods, but keep eating those Tide Pods because we had a lot of money to spend on Super Bowl commercials.
Yeah.
I think Tide won the Super Bowl.
They totally did.
Oh, they absolutely did.
But they couldn't do a disclaimer, please do not eat these at home. Like, you couldn't make one person laugh with that.
But the one thing, so just lightly touching on Super Bowl, I did find it interesting that apparently the Department of Homeland Security's plans for if there were an anthrax or biological weapon attack were just left in the little seat compartment on an airplane.
Did you see who found them?
No. Oh, it was a
CNN employee, as if like the janitor couldn't find it that cleans the planes. No, a CNN employee had to find it, so now it's become a story.
And not only found the plans, but the dude who left it there, Michael Walter from BioWatch, also left his itinerary and everything else with the plans, so they knew who left them there.
Well, yeah, he had the seed. Of course,
and apparently he's not responding to requests for comment.
And he deleted his Twitter account, probably. Right?
Go figure.
No, I saw that posted by like every CISO on LinkedIn today, like going, "Come on, this is how we don't get nice things no more."
Yeah. Interesting day in the grocery store world. So Kroger, I know a lot of people love their Krogering. Kroger is selling off to a UK firm for $2.15 billion.
No, just the gas stations.
Oh, I thought it was the grocery stores.
No. Just the gas stations.
I misunderstood the story then.
They've been building those gas stations like they've been breeding like mice. Like all of a sudden there's a Kroger gas station in the middle of this weird property.
Okay. No, I honestly haven't seen them.
Just them. Just so like the gas station company, one of the second biggest gas station company.
Oh, I thought it was all of Kroger.
No.
I'll have to go back. and
Kroger's
look.
worth way more than the 2-point-something billion.
Oh, but speaking of mice, Aldi had a bad day because apparently somebody found half a rat in their frozen vegetables. And so Aldi has now issued a recall on all frozen vegetables that they may have sold.
Yum.
Are they looking for the other half?
Apparently. Hopefully they'll find it.
So are we witnessing the impending doom and gloom of Facebook, like kind of like we saw with Friendster and Napster and all the other crap? I mean,
no.
Facebook lost 1 million users in North America.
In the U.S. and Canada, yep.
Last month.
Yep.
Like, that's not a small piece.
True.
And you wonder, are they like second users? Like people have like shill and fake accounts? Or are these like actual people just quitting Facebook?
Well, and the other question, the other thing that was interesting about that story is that, Facebook's reaction was, basically, hey, that was that whole thing about we're going to put your friends, and friends and family more high in your news feed. We're suppressing like viral videos and that kind of stuff. And they said one of the things that's interesting is it's actually attributed to 50 million hours that have been lost by Facebook since they've made those announcements and started making those changes. So what is that going to mean to Facebook as an ad platform? And everything else. I mean, that's not an insignificant amount of time from an ad perspective.
No kidding. And like they need more money. Come on, stop. And my favorite story of the day that we're like, we always talk about, AI and machine learning is the way to go. And
right.
Everything's moving to machine learning and data security and networking. And, that's what basically sales is going to move there. Financial trading is going to move there. Well, apparently basically, it's an app that can change the face.
Oh, fake app.
Fake app.
I loved this story.
Right. Basically what it does is it can take a face and impose that face.
Yeah, and digitally insert that face into any movie you want.
Any movie in history.
And while the internet has a fascination with Nicolas Cage for some reason.
They went basically Nicolas Cage every movie, like as many movies they possibly could do in whatever given time they were given. So like you can watch anything and all the faces.
Oh, it's Batman versus Superman and Batman Returns with Nicolas Cage as Lois Lane.
Indiana Jones, and he's got like the head
Nicolas Cage.
Nicolas Cage face. Right, and I'm looking at Batman Superman right now. There's a couple GIFs. Honestly, that was one of the funniest things. Like I wanted the library. I will subscribe to that streaming movie channel.
Yes.
Like the Hulu, whatever. It's the Cage
Effects.
Right. All day. I would watch them all day.
Well, and so it kind of related to the Facebook thing. Google made an interesting announcement, just because, we talk about how it is easier to get apps and everything on Google Play than it is in the iOS Apple Store. Google pulled 700,000 apps and nuked 100,000 developer accounts from their Play platform.
If you would have told me that they had 700,000 apps and 100,000 developers
to spare,
not even just to spare that they had, I would have been shocked.
Oh no, dude! There's a bajillion. Oh god, there are so many more apps in the Google Play Store than there are in the Apple Play Store or the Apple Store.
Well, they let them in looser. I know that.
That's why. Well, yeah.
But what are the criteria now to broom these 700,000? Like, are they?
It was typically adult content. Whether that meant pornography, or implied porn or extreme violence, that sort of stuff, or malware were the two big things.
Are they ever going to get to a point where they go through a process?
Actually review things before they let them go live?
Right. Anyway.
Well, I mean, and that's part of it. I mean, like, because the review process isn't quite as strict. So even if you get something, like once you get something fairly innocuous out there and set up, well, then you just start swapping in content and you can do whatever you want.
And that's when they hit you with like Need for Clash of Warfare 2018.
87, yeah.
But hey, ready for a break?
Yeah, why not?
We're going to take a quick break. We are going to be back with Michelle Gilbert from Comcast. This is the IT and the D Show.
Hey, and we'll be right back.
IT in the D. Read, meet, listen, Networking Detroit, one beer at a time.
Hey, this is John Snyder from Nip Tuck Smallville, the haves and the have-nots. Oh, Dr. Quinn, Hot in Cleveland, Secret Life of the American Teenager, and just about everything you can possibly imagine. And oh yeah, the Dukes of Hazzard. You're listening to Bob and Dave. It's the IT in the D show.
ITinthed.com.
So you have no boots.
No.
You have no gloves.
No.
You have no hat.
No.
You have no scarf.
No.
You have no scraper.
No.
How long have you lived in Michigan?
All my life.
Hi, I'm Brittany Daniel from The Game, and you're listening to IT in the D show.
Welcome back. This is segment 2, episode 233 of the IT in the D show, broadcasting live here in Studio 1, Podcast Detroit, in beautiful Royal Oak, Michigan. Bob the sales guy hanging out with Dave the Geek, Randy. I do the Twitter's Walker. Find us online, itinthed.com, because we are IT in the D. And,
you still aren't,
Yeah.
no matter how badly you would like to be.
We love you, though.
Yeah, no.
Muy, muy.
Hey, before we dive in with Comcast, here's the deal. So the single router Wi-Fi model just does not work for our increasingly high bandwidth world. What you need is a distributed system like Eero. Whatever your Wi-Fi needs, Eero has the power to seamlessly blanket your home in fast, reliable Wi-Fi via Ethernet, wireless, or any combination. Simply set it on a flat surface or plug it into a wall outlet to expand coverage into any room. Not to mention, with the addition of a third 5 gigahertz radio, the second generation Eero is now tri-band and twice as fast as its predecessor, which lets customers do more in every room of their home simultaneously. And with the addition of new Thread radio, Eero can now connect to low-power devices such as locks, doorbells, and other sensors. Meanwhile, Eero Beacon is half the size, but is even more powerful than the original Eero. Whatever model you choose, with Eero's incredible customer support, you can you can call and get a hold of a Wi-Fi expert within 30 seconds. Bob, I've got these in my house. I know you do.
I do.
They've made life so much easier. Like, I never hear, my Netflix show is buffering. I can't watch Dan TDM on YouTube.
I have 16 devices connected.
I'm right there with you.
Right.
It's a thing. So for free overnight shipping to the U.S. and Canada, visit Eero.com. That's EERO.com. Select overnight shipping as the option, and then enter IT in the D. That's all one word, IT in the D at checkout. That's Eero.com, EERO.com. Offer code IT in the D at checkout.
I set them up in literally, I think, 6 minutes. My whole house.
It's so easy. A Bob can do it.
No,
that's
true.
our shtick.
But I got my Nest.
There's an app on your phone. It's amazing.
I got my Canaries, my Nest attached to it.
Yeah.
All my 5 tablets, 3 PCs.
The kids' iPads, the smart TVs everywhere. Yeah, no, absolutely. Dude, I love it because you know what? No, I'm sorry, daughter that got a TV in her room at Christmas. Your TV does not need to connect to the internet after like 9 o'clock on weeknights.
Nope.
No.
Oh, I turned on the family profiles. That was yesterday. I get during the Super Bowl. Hey, Dad, it's snow day tomorrow. Can you turn on the Wi-Fi?
Yeah.
Fine, because it's 8:30. The house gone.
Yep.
I'm like, and I don't feel bad about it at all.
Yeah. Perfectly okay with it.
Exactly. I get to have it whenever I want.
Right.
You know. But hey, we are joined by a very good friend of ours and a regular guest, Michelle Gilbertson here. She's the VP of PR for Comcast.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm great. How are you?
We are always stunned she keeps coming back.
I know, right? No, because that's usually the rule. It's like we got to make fun of her and her company for like 5 minutes, and then whatever's going on, and then let's talk about.
Hey, how was Christmas break over your house, Bob?
Oh, I didn't have service, but they were attentive to my needs.
Right, but what happened? Why didn't you have service?
Something that I didn't know I was supposed to have became unplugged.
But it was not a network issue.
No, it was like the amplifier. I'm like, I don't know what that is. Like, what is this thing?
Yeah, the DJ guy didn't know what the amplifier was.
No, it didn't say Denon on it. No, I didn't know it. But it's all good. Yeah. Life is back.
But we were attentive.
You were. Yeah. Well, now that I got everybody's number because of you. It doesn't help the 800 number, but you know. Exactly. Right?
No, it's all about the app, Bob. It's all about the app.
I tried the app, and the app didn't work. I had anyway. Enough about that. My problems.
The app said, "Well, there's no way this guy wouldn't know that something's not plugged
in."
Yeah,
clearly it's a user error.
Is it plugged in? Yes, it's plugged in. All the set-top boxes are plugged in. It's like a thing on the side of it. I don't know what the thing is. Anyway, so what are you doing?
So
I was being funny. I was trying to be funny. Like, what are you doing here? No, I know that you've talked. We found out there's tons of expansion. Like, that's the one cool thing that everybody trashes on Comcast and says this and says that. But at the end of the day, like, you guys Like there's major overhauls and upgrades and things going on almost every like 2-3 months.
I know it's almost becoming a little bit uncool to rag on Comcast because people are like,
is
it
it
not true anymore?
Is
yeah,
it?
It is.
No, we've shifted to Spirit Airlines.
True.
Thank God for Spirit. No, there's a lot of cool stuff going on. Yeah, we continue to invest in this market. And so we announced last week that two things. We announced that we are expanding our 1 gig service. It's rolled out now in Grand Rapids, Highland, and surrounding communities. And we're going to be launching across the rest of southeastern Michigan and Flint. And Bad Axe. Let's not forget about
Bad Axe is getting gig service.
Bad Axe is going to be badass with our 1 gig service. Yeah. By early
Some marketing
spring.
person is so proud of themselves.
Yeah, I know, right?
No, I believe it or not, I just made that up.
No, that was a cool email I got. It was like, yeah, you paid for like 60 meg, and we're just going to give you 100. And that 100's actually like 120 in my Eero stats.
Oh,
and I'm
yeah.
like,
We upgraded speeds at the end of last year for
Yep.
no additional cost.
Yep.
You're welcome.
Not that I don't know the difference. It works.
Well, I'm glad you don't know the difference because that's a good thing because it means we're staying ahead of your needs.
Sure.
So,
As long as there's like 1 pixel on a Netflix movie, and my kids go bananas. Like they don't remember the days of turning the antenna underneath the TV and
right
moving the rabbit ears and stuff. Yeah,
Right.
It's pixel. It's glitching. My life's a hell. I wish you knew. You know. But Bad Axe. So that means you guys have to trench like all the way up to Bad Axe.
No, well, we have service in Bad Axe. And the cool thing about the 1 gig service is it's over our existing network, which means we're not building a new network. We're not digging up sidewalks and people's lawns. It's some hardware and software adjustments that we do. In essence, what we're doing is we're using our bandwidth more efficiently by condensing the video and using that extra bandwidth for the higher speeds, and that's how we get 1 gig on our existing network.
I'd say because they could always throw like I always laugh from the fiber. Oh no, we can't go any faster than that. Oh yeah, you can. You got to like put stuff on the other end,
but you can.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Right. You just don't want to. But other than that, so
it's like I said. I loved the question that I got this weekend while we were running Free Podcast Day, where someone was wondering why the internet was slow on our guest network. While we had 4 shows running simultaneously, and they had 6 phones all trying to do Facebook Live feeds. Shut up.
It's not how this works. It's not how any of this works.
No.
So
Right.
was Highland Park now? Was that not service before? Because
I
that
know,
was like I saw like a press release on Highland
Right.
Park, and I'm like, wait, is that a big deal?
It kind of is a big deal, and it's one of those communities, one of a few communities in southeastern Michigan where Comcast did not yet have service. And the reason we never had the franchise. It was owned by someone else. So people said, well, why didn't you just get the franchise? It's pretty darn expensive to build out to a new community. And so as a, internet service provider, we're always weighing those options of, do we invest in our existing network and bringing new products and services and increasing speeds for our customers, or do we build out to a new area? So when the opportunity came to purchase the cable system of this small regional provider, and they had just upgraded their whole network in Highland Park 2 years ago, so it meets all of our standards, that it was a no-brainer. I mean, it was a very cost-effective way to be able to expand to the area. We've had residents and businesses alike in Highland Park reaching out to us for many years saying, when are you coming? When are you coming? And so we're really excited. This is going to happen pretty darn fast, March 1st.
Nice. Was it under service or was it, are you filling any gaps or just taking over the franchise?
We're taking over the franchise. We're taking over their network. We will connect their network to ours. And there's about 600 to 650 video and internet customers that are coming over, but there's opportunity to grow. I think the network passes 5,000 homes and over 100 businesses. So, hopefully we'll have an opportunity to earn the business of the fine people of Highland Park.
Good.
Yeah.
That was good. And plus, you can give them internet essentials now, which helps.
Well, and that's huge.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's always one of our favorite programs to talk
Absolutely.
about.
Yeah. Well, and here's the really interesting thing. We learned from the mayor's office that about half of the Highland Park residents are senior citizens. And they...
Really?
Yeah. That's what the mayor's office told us, yes.
Okay.
And so those senior citizens will be eligible for the Internet Essentials pilot program that we're doing in the city of Detroit. So
awesome.
Over the age of 62 and receiving some kind of state or federal assistance, and they'll be eligible.
Is the remote control like that one on the infomercial, the huge giant buttons?
It's only got 4 giant buttons on it.
No, but we have the voice remote.
Oh, so yeah.
Oh. My mom used the voice remote before I did. I always thought it was weird to talk into a thing. And my kids started doing it. I go, how'd you learn how to do it? They go, Oma does it. I go, what? Oma does what? And I'm like, so I go over to my mom. I go, what are you doing? So I go, I always thought it was weird. Like, I don't like talking to Alexa unless I'm alone.
Right.
I always think it's weird. Like yelling and talking to myself.
Yeah.
I mean, it could be like Randy and answer yourself, but I mean, you don't answer yourself. I'm just being funny.
Well, honestly, God, I've been playing with them actually, it's been a while now when you did the Olympics in Rio.
Right.
I think you were giving them out, and I've been playing with it ever since then.
You love that.
It's kind of cool.
Yeah.
My kids are addicted.
I know.
It makes life so much easier.
It does. And in fact,
but then you forget the problem is with it, you don't know what the channel is. I still forget.
I don't know what channels are anyway.
You don't need to know the channel. Who cares?
No, but I like 1205 ESPN, 197 Food Network.
Watch ESPN, and
I
it
know.
takes you there.
I don't like talking to it.
Well,
unless I'm stuck, then all right.
Yeah.
But now you can. I mean, we're expanding the capabilities of the voice remote too, in terms of the kind of information that you can ask it too. With the Olympics, you can say, "What's the medal count?" and it'll tell you the medal count.
Oh,
yeah.
So it's going Alexa on us.
A
little bit.
Well,
but not in
a negative way.
We were talking about the Olympics earlier, and what do you like? So you guys are doing the whole basically on demand anything Olympics, because I told you I can't stand watching Olympics because all the stuff they put on primetime, it's all like the or the dance shows and all that stuff.
Right.
I want to watch the cool, kind of the weird sports.
So that's what's great is that you don't have to worry about just tuning into the prime time. Our NBC editors are going to be curating content into what we call 50 virtual channels through the X1 platform. And you can watch funniest moments, most monumental moments, biggest wins.
Skier wipeouts.
Is there a way to skip those inspirational stories about the athlete's grandma's pet hamster?
You can skip.
I just want to see the sports.
Yeah, but you can. That's the thing. You can search by athlete. You can search by sport. So if you only want to watch curling, I know you were talking about curling earlier.
Curling, luge, bobsled, ski jump,
right?
Biathlon, repeat. That's it.
Yeah.
Hockey. Dude, with the rifles on the back while they're skiing, that's awesome.
Dude, that hasn't been cool since what was it? The Spy Who Loved Me, the James Bond movie.
Whatever. Those are the rifles that I shoot at the club. That's why I'm enamored with it. Anyway.
So we're trying to make it as easy as possible for you to get the content that you want, so that if Randy doesn't want to watch the videos of the athletes with their grandma's pet hamster,
the stupid character stories about the athletes that nobody cares about.
Some people.
The fourth person on the bobsled last year saved 14 bunnies from a burning building.
Exactly. Nobody got time for that.
No, it's ESPN does it all the time when they do the kids with cancer last wish. It's man, I just wanted to watch the highlights and now you're making me cry, and I'm like, I hate you. But anyway, So is it on just the the on-demand app?
Yeah. So if you can just say go to Olympics. It will have that that front screen And if you click on the Olympics app, then it'll pull up all the channels. Then you can just browse through them.
Just made my Olympics much more better.
I hope so.
See, now they don't have to watch figure skating and anything with a judge attached to it.
But I, Tanya is out, Bob. It's figure skating is going to be all the rage this year.
Why? I had any chance I get to drop a why.
Right.
Oh.
That's right. Nancy Kerrigan says what? Yeah.
Exactly. But hey, we find you online, Michelle Gilbert on LinkedIn and just Comcast.com. Everybody knows that.
Yep. And on Twitter, Purple Engine PR.
Purple Engine PR.
It has nothing to do with a dinosaur, I promise.
It's fine. I trust you. At this point, I trust you. I wouldn't have you. But hey, Michelle Gilbert, VP of PR for Comcast Michigan. We're going to take a quick break, and we're going to be back. Caston Thomas from Interworks Technologies. This is the IT and the D Show.
Hey, and we'll be right back.
IT and the D. Read, meet, listen. Networking Detroit. One beer at a time.
Hi, I'm Brittany Daniel from The Game, and you're listening to IT and the D Show.
ITinthed.com.
Dig, you IT geeks. This is Dre DeMatteo from Sons of Anarchy. You are listening to IT and the D.
Welcome back. This is segment 3, episode 233, the IT and the D Show, broadcasting live here at Studio One in Podcast Detroit in beautiful Royal Oak, Michigan. Find us online, itandthed.com. This is Bob, a sales guy, hanging out with Dave the Geek. Randy, I do the Tours Walker, is in the studio. Give us a like on the socials and subscribe to us everywhere fine podcasts are sold. Before you forget, go to the Meet tab on our site. That's MEET. It's going to tell you everywhere we're going to be for the next rest of our lives.
And you'll see it's pretty full. Yeah.
Right. But hey, we are joined again, repeat offender. We like when you have new, because you always have new stuff too. Caston Thomas is in the house from Interworks Technologies. Your game has always been kind of staying 1, 2, 3 steps ahead of kind of the vendor space in the security world, and we're happy to have you back.
Glad to be here, and the beer is better than ever.
Go figure.
I just come for the beer.
Falling down, is which one of 2 stouts? Is this King Ziggy?
This is the milk stout, yeah.
This is the milk stout. Okay, Falling Cow.
Yep.
Right. Then you can find,
because apparently
down
in South America there are literally signs where you have to watch out for falling cows. That fall
I thought
cliffs.
it was a Tommy Boy reference.
No, like there are like apparently he saw the sign. Insert Ace of Base joke here. But no, he saw the signs and just thought it was hilarious. Yeah, there are places in Brazil where you have to watch out for cows falling off cliffs. And so there are falling cow signs.
Right. So getting to IT security trends, I mean, it's almost like following Bitcoin. I think it changes by the day in terms of,
if that long.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, this is new. That's new. This technology's dead. That technology's dead. We invented a better mousetrap. And so, I mean, at this very minute, this very day, what's the hotness?
Well, the number of information security companies coming into the market exceeds the number of craft beer companies coming onto the market.
Lies. That it can't be true.
It is true. There's last statistic I saw said that there are 2 craft beer companies coming into North America every day. Well, there's between 10 and 20 according to the companies we track every week. So it's roughly either anywhere from the same to twice as many companies coming in. So
no wonder Budweiser plants are so easy to switch from beer to water.
Right. Exactly.
They switched from water.
Right.
Yeah, exactly. So what's new?
Let's start for free. I'll dedicate.
Free is always good.
I'll start with one we'll dedicate to the people who come to the IT and the D parties and complain about the free pizza. How's that?
That's right. It's not vegetarian or gluten free enough. Yeah. Sorry.
So one of the things that we run into, the companies that Interworks works with, our best customers are those people who have a well-defined strategy for what they're going to implement. And it doesn't scare us as a sales team when somebody says we don't have it this budget year. We nail them as one of our ideal customers because we walk into too many places where people are thinking, gee, let's get the latest, greatest mousetrap, and that's going to fix everything. So they're always cycling through technologies. They have a higher rate of failure of the projects that they implement, and they end up spending a lot more money. So we've always said, get a gap analysis. Well, one of the things that came to us, and people,
which means I got to bring in consultants, and they're going to write up a paper. And
no, this is the cool thing. The former lead security architect for Department of Homeland Security left, and he's been a serial entrepreneur. I don't know why he went to the government, but he's got a great story.
Well, it's
really capable.
It's private sector to make money now, public sector to make money later.
Well, yep, that's true. So he left DHS. And he took, I don't know how he did this, but he took the research that he and 40 MIT graduate students had built a security gap analysis. And it was built for the various government agencies. And he felt like this stuff that he had learned would be so valuable. So he's created a website, and the website is gap.preventbreach.com. So gap.preventbreach.com. It's free for another 2 weeks. He's had it in beta, and he told me that I could talk about it tonight. You go on, you log in, you spend about an hour answering questions, and it returns a prioritized list. And if you're into information security, you know about the NIST framework for building a security architecture. It's built around that, and you get these world-class results of, hey, here's your big exposures. Here's the priorities and the technology that you ought to be implementing in the following order.
Yeah, I mean, and just taking a quick look, I mean, so it dives into asset management, network segmentation, network security, identity management, privilege access, PKI and key management, patching and vulnerability management, continuous monitoring, endpoint protection, config management, log management, phishing protection, data security, application security. Sounds pretty comprehensive.
It's pretty comprehensive, and I'm under NDA. I can't talk about who's been talking to him about deploying it. But if you can think of some of the biggest security companies in the world, and some of the biggest cloud security companies in the world, there have been people reaching out to this guy going, how can we get a piece of this?
Right.
So, just totally cool stuff. It's vetted. I've recommended it to a couple of chief information security officers who are so busy fighting the big fight that they haven't had time to go out and build the analysis. And that goes back to what you said. You got to go pay some high price consultant $275, $375 an hour to put together the things you already know. But the value of this is that you can get that snapshot.
I've built an entire career
now.
On that. Don't knock that.
I'm not knocking it. It's worth every penny. But the problem that too many CISOs have is they're trying to get the executive offices and the board to approve that expense, and they can't get it pushed through.
Notice it's free for the next week or two. Then it'll be like checked baggage and pick your own seats, right? Oh, you want security analysis? Oh, that'll be.
Now it's all a card.
Application, whatever. You know what I'm talking about.
Well, the go-to-market and the way he's going to monetize it is interesting, but can't talk about that. But it ain't going to be free soon. So get on now.
Get it while you can. Yep.
And I'm not going to say it's worth what you pay for it, because the trials that we've been through with some people are absolutely stellar, the results that they get back.
Awesome. So I guess let's hop into the next one. Talk to me about remote viewing, because I have questions.
Well, the big problem that we've had, particularly with iPhone, is that until 11.0 of iOS, you haven't been able to remotely view a station because of security concerns and the lockdowns. Well, Apple opened that up through their screen recording capability. There are a couple of companies like GoToPC and a lot of the support desk remote viewing stations for reviewing or remotely viewing and controlling PCs and Macs. They've added that to their portfolio, but it's very, very expensive. We found a company, or the company actually found us. They've been around for many, many years, but they have built a purpose-specific remote viewing station, purpose-built for help desk, to be able to securely, and essentially a user downloads an app, they put in a 9-digit code, and that connects them to the help desk, who can then see everything. And the problem that every help desk has when it comes to supporting mobile devices is you're trying to blindly guide somebody by, and you're 15 minutes into a support call and you find out your problem's been that they've had it in portrait mode rather than landscape.
Right. Well, honestly, so that's my question is, isn't this we've talked about it a million times,
I vote no.
Well, it's just the phone calls you get with the IRS scam and the, hey, this is your Windows support desk scam and all that stuff that basically wants you to go to a gotomypc.com and log in and let them take remote access of your system for nefarious purposes. Doesn't this now open these platforms up to that?
Well, I suppose it could, but the real beauty of this is that the user initiates the connection to the help desk.
Okay.
And this is a tool that's built in the cloud, so these are known registered.
So you should only be using this with your own help desk, therefore, yeah.
Yeah, a school could use this, a hospital, mobile support group, somebody who's got an enterprise mobile application deployed. So these are people who are known to you. Physicians don't know a lot about phones.
True.
Teachers don't know a lot about phones. So trying to guide them through a two-factor authentication process or trying to figure out why a medical application isn't rendering an X-ray right on an iPad. Those are problems that are real world, and it's difficult to capture and really see what the user is experiencing from the help desk in order to properly diagnose the problem.
Okay.
And this isn't something that you're going to purchase for everybody in the help desk, although maybe some companies would who are moving everything to mobile. But if you've got one or two stations, this is a very, very economical solution to be able to address those problems.
Well, and honestly, and then my attitude takes us to your next, topic you want to dive into, which is zero trust networking, because that's my mentality.
That's and that's one of the real big movers. One of the things that we do when we're evaluating technology is looking at the mega trends, and zero trust networks is really, really a megatrend. It's going to impact us. Google Research has created a company called BeyondCorp, and that's a company who's built to address what's called a software-defined perimeter.
Okay.
I consider, and people who know me know that I'm one of the biggest advocates of network access control, NAC, that there's ever been.
Yep.
I installed the second largest NAC installation in the world after the U.S. Army back in 2014. So, I've been doing it. I'm advocating it. But what I'm telling you now is NAC is dead. NAC is dead. And if you're implementing Cisco ICE, you're crazy. It's like going out and signing a 5-year contract for a cable modem and then waking up the next morning and seeing an ad for Hulu, Netflix, and Roku.
Right.
So, the reasons is NAC came to fill a role, and it was fantastic. And again, I've been the biggest evangelist for this, but the world's changing. And the issue is that NAC has to backdoor in or shoehorn in things like cloud security or mobile security. There's just not a good way to do it without partnerships and everything else. And Vint Cerf, who's considered the father of TCP/IP, did a video a couple of years back, and he said there were really two problems that he wished he had thought of when they designed TCP/IP, the internet in a sense. Number one was he wished they had created more than 3 billion IP addresses.
Who knew?
Right.
Yeah. He said it was a research project.
Yeah.
We thought 3 billion would be enough. Well, number two, and this is kind of difficult to explain, but he said the other thing was when we created the IP addressing, we made the device identifier and the location the same thing.
Right.
And I guess the concept would be if a person were born, rather than giving them a name of who they are, they would get their street address.
Yeah.
So I would be 1953 Cedar Edge Road. That's the first octet. And Rochester Hills, second, Michigan. And then my device identifier would be a 1.
Yeah.
but everybody would know me by my street address, and I'd never be able to move.
Don't worry, Dave will edit out your address in post.
There's 15,000 ways to get it with a simple Google search. I'm not worried about it. So really, the point is that by separating the identifier of the device from the location of the device, you're able to get real security. The idea is that a device isn't even known on the network unless it's another device that's already trusted by that device. So I couldn't even see you on the network. I couldn't even ping you if the device is set up correctly. I couldn't even ping you and know about you until I've authenticated who I am and that there's a level of trust between those two end devices.
Well, but even honestly, like that gets back to, the problems with the foundation of the Internet 101. I mean, the Internet was designed to be open and trusting because it was a research project. It was originally, you've got, once you get outside of the ARPANET applications and all that kind of stuff, it was basically for academics to share research papers. So like, you already knew somebody was at, SURF. You already knew somebody was at, Stanford. You already knew. So, I mean, it's one of those, they're growing pains. It is what it is. I believe there's not a single one of us that has not done a little prototype of something that has somehow made its way into production long before it should have, just because someone saw it and went, yeah, go.
Yeah. And the Internet has tied all these things together. I mean, DHCP wouldn't exist if this original architecture was in place. DNS wouldn't need to exist because all of it would have been in the original IP addressing scheme at the TCP/IP packet level. So that's what we're dealing with here. We found about 10 companies that we feel are reputable in the host identifier protocol or software defined perimeter. 2 of those really stand out for us. One has been started by a Fortune 500 communications company or a networking company, a name that probably half the people listening to this have heard of, highly technical, but they're a Fortune 500 company. The CEO left a couple of years ago, has brought around 40 or 50 cherry-picked employees from that company, and they've started up a company that when Interworks looks at companies and we evaluate them, these companies that we're finding, we score them. And this company has the second highest score we've ever given to a company in the way that we evaluate them and their certitude of being successful in the market. The only company that got a higher score is a little company called Cylance.
Interesting.
And that's the fastest growing internet security company ever. So,
well, I mean, I guess that's a good question is, you mentioned earlier that, with 10 new companies coming on the scene every day, how do you keep tabs on this nonsense?
It would be like if you were trying to find the best beer in America. You got all these new coming on. We've built a process around finding those companies. We built a huge database. We're adding to that weekly. And then we've defined some triggers of what makes a really good company. It's the quality of the venture capital. It's the quality of the executives. It's the solution and their approach to the market. So we're putting all those pieces together, scoring them, and then presenting that score to our customers mapped against the kinds of gaps that they have in their security and their architecture. And that comes back to why our customers typically have a really good security gap analysis and a prioritized set of hierarchies of the problems they're trying to solve.
So you make a pretty bold statement. You already said NAC's dead, and you're also adding to that funeral DLP and SIM. Got half the people listening probably grabbing their heart right now.
Well, they should. But DLP has been just a massive failure because it's very complex. It's not meeting the needs. And so it's evolving. So when we say NAC is dead or SIM is dead, the SIM vendor, Splunk's not going away anytime soon.
Right.
But they're building new tools, and you're going to see the purpose of SIM evolve. And, some of the SIM vendors now probably won't make the cut. Is IBM going to go away? No, absolutely not. QRadar is not going to die, but the products are going to have to evolve because, sorry, but artificial intelligence and that kind of technology is going to revolutionize, and there are going to be winners that come up, and they're going to be the next QRadar, the next Splunk, because the technology using artificial intelligence really derives just tremendous benefits on the operations of how we troubleshoot and secure networks.
I feel like artificial intelligence is so much scarier of a phrase than machine learning.
Okay.
Like machine learning, okay, yeah, it's going to be artificial intelligence. I think Terminators.
Yeah.
Boston,
that's the whole idea. You want to terminate the hackers.
Boston Dynamics robots with
with
guns
all the bad things.
No, you know it's intimidating, and there are a lot of companies throwing around blockchain, artificial intelligence, machine learning, based around it being a buzzword. And yeah, it's overused, but the technology is here. It is going to revolutionize the way things are done. So, absent the sales pitches and the PowerPoints, it's here. It's going to be incorporated into the products, and some of the new upstarts are just doing a lot better job of it because they don't have a lot of baggage to bring it along, and they are building a better mousetrap.
Cool. So I'm curious, you mentioned something, we were yakking earlier about the LED lighting fixtures that have stuff built into them. I actually saw those recently because there are some that have like security cameras built into them and like Wi-Fi access and all that kind of stuff. It's like almost a plug and play device. Like, talk to me a little bit about why that's starting to become a thing in the marketplace.
Well, a third of the large retailers that you're walking into are tracking your phone, your face, your movement. Some way they know who you are or what you're about.
So they've been doing that for years, though, right?
They have, but it's getting more pronounced.
Okay.
And we're reaching that critical mass where you almost expect to be tracked. And so this company started out providing lighting fixtures that could be retrofitted. And now what they're doing is you actually change a lamp or you change a bulb in one of these fixtures, and it's got a Linux processor with 2 gig of RAM and Wi-Fi and Bluetooth built in.
Which is so crazy.
It's crazy, but it's brilliant from the standpoint of being able to deploy a fully functional location tracking service over existing infrastructure, because you don't have to integrate in the new APs. There's so much processing in every lighting fixture that you can do some remarkable things to filter out and process information, maybe even do some of the facial recognition right there locally without sending everything up to the net.
God, that's insane to me.
Kind of just buy stuff.
Yes, but they're going to know how you're buying it, why you're buying it, and where you're buying it.
Well, there was I learned I don't know, in college, I forget how, like in the early days, like a grocer, one of the early, to find out where his customers went, would give out popcorn or peanuts.
Yeah.
And say,
no, it was peanuts because they wanted to know where the shells went.
Yeah. And then it would show him where like the people were going in the store. It was like kind of pre-technology. It was pretty genius just to figure out, that's why, all the high-end stuff is in the back left corner. And
the bread and milk, back corner. Yeah,
right.
Always.
Well, I read a statistic like 5 years ago that said Walmart knows within plus or minus 2% of accuracy how many people will turn left, turn right, or pause at a display at the front door.
Really?
It's just amazing, the analytics that are there. That reminds me, there's a company we found out about that's really fascinating. It's called Degree Analytics.
Oh, yeah, the college one. Yeah.
And I was actually involved in something similar with Wi-Fi about 5 years ago at a college down in Indiana that wanted to track their students. And they were feeding that in to their I can't remember the back engine, but they wanted to find the behaviors of the students. Well, Degree Analytics is tracking students' location, their grades, their study habits, how they're using their mobile phones, how they're using media in the dorm, who they're associating with in the library, or how long they're spending in the lunchroom on campus, to predictively help the students avoid, they want to retain the students.
It's always for your benefit.
Well,
help my ass. Yeah.
The intent is fabulous. And right now these technologies are largely opt-in because the students have to load an app on the phone. But my fear is, because you hear these stories about rogue police officers that are stalking their ex or trying to get a date with somebody, and it's really creep factor. Well, when you got IT geeks doing this kind of thing and
on a college campus,
it kind of scares me, the implications of
We
this.
call it patient data snooping in the hospitals.
Well, but that's been going on for years as well.
Well,
tracking it.
Is it, are you suddenly going to get cut off from your scholarship because you're spending too much time in the bars as opposed to in the library? And then will people just start leaving their phone in the library for hours on end?
They'll use burners. They'll game the system once they find out what's going on. You think they're not going to know to do that stuff like that?
Right.
Or if you've got all this data and somehow the data is breached and gets exfiltrated onto the internet. I mean,
because that never happens.
No, it never happens.
All right. So where do we find out more? Like, how do we find out about all these topics, all that kind of stuff? Where do we find you?
You can find me on LinkedIn, Caston Thomas, first name spelled Caston. If you can't spell the last name, then I don't want to talk to you. Company, you can get me at Caston Thomas or C Thomas at iworkstech.com. And that's iworkstech.com.
Awesome.
Always a pleasure having you in. Look forward to
being here.
Next time we have breakfast or lunch, but I appreciate it. We're going to take a quick break. We're going to be back kind of breaking down the Super Bowl ads. We got a lot of stuff to talk about.
I got a page. I'm ready.
This is the IT and the D Show.
We'll be right back.
IT in the D. Read, meet, listen. Networking Detroit. One beer at a time.
Hey guys, it's Ty Mogg, Bruce Leroy from The Last Dragon. You're listening to the IT&D Show.
ITinthed.com.
Hello everybody, it's Jason David Frank, the Green Ranger, and you are listening to IT in the D.
Welcome back, segment 4, episode 233.
It's been a while.
It has been a while. This is the one and only IT and the D Show broadcasting here at Studio One. Podcast Detroit, beautiful Royal Oak, Michigan. Bob the Sales Guy, Dave the Geek, Randy. I do the Twitter's Walker. Caston's hanging out with us. Find us online, itinthed.com.
All right, so let's dive in. Super Bowl was yesterday. I got like 2 scrolling pages of things to run through here because I was here yesterday, so I didn't watch the game like live.
Right.
I went through and I fast forwarded through the game to catch the commercials because I could care less about football.
So this isn't a comment on the Super Bowl; it's a comment of the state of advertising in America. Okay.
Because hey, you know what? Let's lead off. Shout out to all the fans in Philly who burned their city to the ground last night. That was amazing. I've never
says go to my football team than stealing shit at the liquor store.
Right. Everything is free. Everything is free. The videos were amazing. So I took notes as I was watching them. So I'm going to go all back to the beginning. So I'm going to start with the Mass Mutual commercial, the I'll Stand By You thing. Loved it. I thought it was very, very cool. We always see all the negative bullshit. We always see all the Philly burning itself to the ground. That was very, very cool. Like all the people, diving in to help, flood victims and the kid bullied by school and all that kind of stuff. If I hadn't written down it was Mass Mutual, I would never remember it was them, but it was a very cool commercial.
Well, and that's the running theme this year was, save the whales, save the trees, save the snails, save the bees.
Right.
And then, so like our joke was, what kind of stupid shit is this at the end? Right. So it's like, the one that got me, I'm sorry, I don't mean to go off your list, but like we save kids with cancer.
Oh no, that's
and
way down. Yeah. So basically, if you don't buy a Hyundai, you want kids to have cancer.
Right.
That's what I got out of that commercial.
No, so that's what we were talking. We were joking. Is what trash, like here you have Martin Luther King Jr. gives like one of his most powerful speech and like civil rights equals I'm going to haul shit in my truck. Like, wait, it's like one of the most important speeches, one of the most important people in modern day history. And you equate that with a pickup truck. It's like, so like we were joking, like all of a sudden here's this like amazing, I'll stand by you. And like Pringles, right. It was like the running joke because it made no sense at the end what these companies were.
Yeah. So Red Sparrow, The new Jennifer Lawrence flick. Interested at all? I thought it was cute. Kind of looked like La Femme Nikita. We'll see how that goes. I thought the Olympics killed it with a lot of their commercials, even though it got to the point where there were too many of them. But so it started off with the Michaela Schifrin one, the Always Be Faster Than the Boys. I thought that was cute, very positive, very, very kind of cool. I didn't quite get the whole, I mean, they do it every year, but let's have America the Beautiful followed by the national anthem. Shout out to Pink, for being very classy, and spitting her gum out, right before singing on camera. I thought that was amazing. I thought that was cute.
She was moisturizing her mouth.
Well, and apparently she had the flu. So, whatever she needed to do to keep herself rolling, good for her. And of course, the big topic that everybody's waiting for, no kneeling, none of that, none of that happened during the anthem. So that was just a thing.
There was supposed to be a Vets commercial. Did you read about this?
See, I'm curious as to
if they try to get the free publicity from
if that really happened, or it was just the Super Bowl didn't approve our commercial. Clickbait, whatever.
Free pub.
Yeah. I loved, the next one I got was, TD Ameritrade with Lionel Richie. I thought that was hilarious with them trying to get him to say all night long, and he wouldn't say all night long. Well,
it's the funny thing. They're spending $5, $6, whatever $1 million.
Right.
And like none of them, what they are at the end of these commercials.
Yeah.
Like, none of them. You did because you wrote them down.
Yeah.
Me, ask me the Lionel Richie one. I would, Pringles. I don't know. Again, it goes back to
well, you're not eating Pringles all night long. I mean, maybe you are. I don't know.
No.
Have you met Bob?
This is true.
I did have,
that would be
have
Funyuns and combos.
I had Funyuns in a bowl.
Of course you did.
It was classy.
Yeah. McDonald's would very much like for you to rediscover your love of the Big Mac. And I still don't get the Little Mac and the Super Mac or whatever the hell it is they're
Mac
calling
Jr.
it.
is the most underrated fast food burger going right now.
Really?
Yeah.
I have not had one.
I would rather eat that than a Big Mac.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, then good. I thought the Sprint commercial with the robots and AI was pretty hilarious.
That was good. I'll give them that
because they've had the ongoing battle with Verizon and all that nonsense. The robots making fun of him for still having Verizon, and I thought that was very cute.
We had 100 jokes going about which one is the sex robot out of all those.
You got a stupid face. Yeah, it was very, very cute. And then the next one was the Solo trailer. So obviously we already talked about that back in segment 1, but yeah, very, very cool. It has so much potential. I really, really hope this
if
one
it
does
sucks,
well.
just whatever. Just you're I don't know how you think anyway.
Yeah,
these are like the most amazing movies of our lifetime.
Pretty much
sucks.
Have we reached peak Dilly Dilly?
I never got it from the beginning.
I think we reached peak Dilly Dilly about 3 months ago. like the next day it came out.
I appreciate when Budweiser does the to be continued because at least gives you something to look forward to per se.
Right.
They did it with the Bud Bowl and the stupid animals and the they found something that finally clicked because they haven't clicked in a very, very long time and they're completely irrelevant.
No, they haven't.
Which is worse though. That was someone tweeted out, gotta love Budweiser spending $5 million on an ad promoting they donated $100,000 in water.
Right. I did love how easy it is to switch
hear that sound?
From Budweiser to water.
Hear that sound? It's me patting myself on the back.
Put new ink on the cans, right?
No, they had all new cans. Oh, I get you. Yeah, I get you.
No, that's
Bud Light. Yeah.
Right. Hear that? That's me patting myself on the back. Look
for $5 million.
Hyundai, look at me. Look at me. We're saving kids now. One car at a time. Come on.
Yeah, the Bud Night I thought was kind of cool. I liked the Highlander vibe and all that kind of stuff. It was cute. I thought the M&M's commercial with Danny DeVito, hey, you want to eat me? Hey, you want to eat me? Hey, you want to eat me? I laughed.
It didn't end it was just I was awkward as far as I was concerned.
Yeah, especially in the light of all the Me Too stuff going on. Yeah, I thought it was pretty hilarious.
I don't want to say I want to get in the ad business. But when it's
I want to get the ad business.
Come on, you couldn't make it any better. It's Always Sunny in Philly, and you couldn't make a one-off. If you're going to spend $5 million
and have Danny DeVito,
Danny DeVito and Charlie sitting there bitching about the Patriots, and Come on,
Yeah.
like give me some M&Ms,
Yeah.
just like, and that would be a lousy commercial, but it would make more sense.
But it would work.
Right.
Yeah. I loved Wendy's getting snarky in commercial form because we've talked a million times about how amazing Wendy's social media is about like just lighting people up.
See, I never understood. This was a big thing. Like I studied advertising. And that was the thing. Like they always said, like when Pepsi used to put Coke in their ads, like you.
Because I remember when when that never used to happen.
Right, but you couldn't brand differentiate between the two when the ads were over. Like if you waited 4 days, then ask someone, it's an impression. Like that's 90% of the game is the impression. The logo, the product. It isn't about the mess. Like it's not how you. And you remember how it made you feel. Like there was right. So like Pepsi versus Coke. Like, wait, who was that commercial for anyway? Like you.
Yeah.
So like when
because the Wendy's commercial started as a McDonald's commercial.
Right. So that's what I'm saying is like, well, that, but the thing is like advertising food on the Super Bowl when we're all gluttonous pigs, it just, I don't want to see food commercials during the Super Bowl. No, because I'm stuffing my face with everything. And then I'm like, Big Mac, like when no one says that looks good because no one's hungry watching the Super Bowl.
Right.
Again, think McFly, like spend that money. No, spend that money somewhere else. Like, I don't know. You could have done so much better. Maybe I'm the stupid one. I don't know. But there's just, what else doesn't make sense? Advertising the Super Bowl? That goddamn laundry, not Tide, because Tide did good.
Oh,
they did it last year too. Penicillin.
Speaking of mentioning other products during your commercial, Tide was all over.
And that's the next one on my list. So yeah, I mean,
but you knew that was Tide. They knocked that one out.
But so the best part about that, so obviously,
I'm talking about the blue penicillin stuff or whatever.
I
the hell
have no
it was
idea
called.
what the hell it's called. Yeah,
petroleum. I don't know.
I don't know. Yeah, nothing. But no, dude, Tide killed it. They so did. I mean, so
they made every commercial about them.
Well, so not only that's the part. So they start with the guy from Stranger Things, Hopper, starring in their commercial that's basically mocking every Super Bowl commercial that's out there, and the end of it was basically him saying, "So is every commercial, every Super Bowl commercial a Tide commercial?"
Borderline genius.
Honestly, the genius part of that came later in the night. Because as they would insert these little snippets where it would because they must have had, 8 commercials last night? And they would be like little 10-second snippets of, whatever. And nope, you're in a Tide commercial. You then started waiting for every single commercial to do that, to be a Tide commercial.
All I wanted was one disclaimer. Please
stop eating Tide.
Stop eating our product.
Well, no, because they got to afford these ads somehow.
Tide is not food. Like Soylent Green is not food.
But no, I thought that was amazing. Like even the they did it once coming back from a commercial break, and you thought you were coming back to live coverage, and it was Hopper on the split screen going, "Nope, you're in another Tide commercial." It was genius.
No, but again, like I want to like the Jeep. Okay, it was a good, quick ad. Like, I'm going to go through the river and I'm going to climb up the mountain Jeep, right? I get it.
Right.
But like, we're going to save the snails.
Yeah, no.
Cut the tree and help people.
No.
Hyundai. Like, what?
No.
I just
my first all caps note of the night. Why is there another Mission Impossible movie? Why?
I didn't get that either.
Why? Other than apparently Tom Cruise gets his ass kicked a lot in this movie, which I'm all in favor of. But why?
That's the first thing I said when I saw it. I'm like, oh, come on!
Is Tom Cruise out of money?
No.
He gave it all to Scientology.
Scientology, yeah. Of course, he's broke. He's probably broke as hell.
Well, you remember the Weird Al movie or Weird Al song about Rocky 18? We're almost there with MI.
Totally. It's
no,
ridiculous.
It was Rocky 5.
Rocky 5.
1,000.
Yeah, an Airplane 2, yeah. The Keanu Reeves for Squarespace, I thought was kind of weird.
Bizarre.
Yeah.
Really weird.
I mean, you expect weirdness from Keanu Reeves, but yeah, I just thought that was
the whole
that.
commercial. You just whoa.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Did love, and I know you did too, the Australia tourism ads with
Phenomenal.
Harry Powers.
Yeah.
No, because I thought it was a real movie. I was pissed. I was so pissed. Like, Kenny Powers is doing like,
Crocodile Dundee,
Right.
like that, dude. That was, and I loved the little the cameo with Paul Hogan when he's like, "Oh, you're the best. You're the best Crocodile Dundee since Crocodile Dundee." And
right. No, because like even like the I don't like Mountain Dew, but I'll be damned if those commercials don't make me laugh every time I see them.
Oh, so they had the Nacho Fire or the Doritos Fire or whatever, the Blaze or whatever the hell it's called, and Mountain Dew Ice were the back-to-back commercials. They were 15 seconds each. And one was Peter Dinklage with
rapping or whatever
with
Missy Elliott
with some there was Busta Rhymes, and then it was Morgan Freeman with Missy Elliott, which I thought was just genius. Not genius, but it was funny.
It didn't. I laughed. It did nothing for me.
Well, because for a split second, I forgot they were owned by the same parent company,
right?
Pepsi. And so I was like, did Mountain Dew pay to be right after that Dorito? Wait, what? And I was like, oh wait.
That's what, if they only did the Kenny Powers Mountain Dew commercial, because it reminded me of the K-Swiss when he's doing cologne. He's like, K-Swiss cologne, don't smell like shit. That's like he had the same look on his face. Oh, but seriously, we're all sitting there going, I would totally go see the Crocodile Dundee movie.
Absolutely.
With Thor and Kenny Powers.
As the kid, I thought that would be amazing. Right. That's right. Hollywood, get on that. Stop remaking 80s movies. Make that.
Sure.
The new TV show, Good Girls, which is apparently Housewives Gone Bad. Thanks, NBC.
I was filling up my bowl of Funyuns at that point.
You're not the target audience.
No, clearly not. So I guess then that brings us to the halftime show. Justin Timberlake kind of sucked.
It was bad.
I don't see now. I walked out of that going, pretty good.
Number one, I thought it was pretty ballsy to start with the song that caused all the controversy 10 years ago with Janet Jackson.
There's no one that remembers what song that was. 'Cause
really, I'm going to have you naked by the end of the song. That was that moment.
He cut that part out, so he didn't say it.
Well, and he stopped it, and then he had the little sly wink, and it was like, yeah.
No, because I said, I guarantee he doesn't say heavy naked, but and he cuts that out. I like listen, when he went through the progressions when he started down in the basement.
I thought that, honestly, I did think that was cool.
Up,
down in the bar
and
inside,
the band,
and
then they went through the wall of iPhones in the air. I mean,
what the hell was he wearing, by the way? I don't want to make this a fashion show.
With an orange bandana.
I thought it was.
Was he a cowboy?
No, I thought it was the
Ranger?
Wolf Head T-shirt from Amazon. The Wolf Head.
That would have been amazing.
I know. No, there's nothing wrong. He went Salvation Army. Look good for him. With his $300 Air Jordans and a $30 wardrobe.
Right. The Prince stuff, I thought it was kind of cool. They used the footage from Purple Rain and his Super Bowl ad.
You couldn't have gotten NSYNC to do one song with him to do,
or Britney, or somebody.
I think we're expecting too much. It's a stupid halftime show.
Because there's always collaborations now. Always.
Well, I know, because that's the one thing I said. I'm like, thank God, I'm sick and tired of Aerosmith and Big Sean. Right. I get it. You're trying to make people happy, but to me, Justin Timberlake's the closest thing we have to a Michael Jackson / Elton John / pop megastar. From
I suppose
that's all we have.
Yeah.
So why not give him the stage? I was fine with it.
I got you. And of course,
if we had been switching between other performers along with him, it would have taken away from Prince. And despite some of the social media stuff about that, I thought it was a really nice tribute, and they didn't want to take away from that.
Well, yeah, no. So
we were joking about hold on, sorry, Dave. We were joking about the big Prince wiener shadow.
Yeah,
and then all of a sudden
they totally threw it up again.
Showed it.
Yeah.
I'm like, it's the wiener. There's the wiener.
Well, no. So there was a whole to do because there was talk that they were going to do a hologram, kind of like they did with Tupac at Coachella, and everybody pulled out. Basically they had asked Prince at one point in time, wouldn't he like to, be on stage with a BB King or something like that? And he basically just said, no, that's the most demonic thing I can ever imagine ever happening in life. That's atrocious.
Listen, let's not pretend Prince was some hero. His lawyer sent Weird Al a legal letter saying not to make eye contact with him during an award show.
Well, there's that.
Yeah. I mean,
could he have? Prince was only 4 feet tall?
If that.
But there was also one shot of Prince up on that big screen where it looked like he had a devil's tail.
Well, that was the guitar and all that stuff. So that was, like I said, they used a combo of footage from Purple Rain and his Super Bowl performance a few years back.
Again, I don't know what we expect anymore. Like,
I know,
dude. Compared to like go to a halftime show 15 years ago when it was like. Just like it was like the Bowling Green halftime show, and
there was a marching band.
Right?
Yeah, I want something. I want like pyrotechnics or something that requires a safety harness. Some sort of spectacle. It's a big event, and he was just.
But
they're
putting out a lot concert in like 15. How do you ship all that shit out there and then bring it all? Like the fact that they can get all that done in that short time is pretty.
It is pretty amazing. They've obviously got it down to a science, and life's good. So yeah. But I was, none
of them are going to be like, wow, that was cool. No, which one's going to be? Who could you possibly have had that would mean? Yee.
I don't know.
Exactly.
I'm not that guy.
It could have been Ed Sheeran go, I'm sad songs.
Emos, go cut yourself. Yeah,
right,
totally.
right.
All right, so that was the halftime thing. Dude, why is Jim from The Office going to be Jack Ryan?
I didn't like that at all.
Why?
Because he needs
why?
Because he's cheap, probably.
Because at first I thought it was Chuck.
Oh.
Like, because when they showed the profile a couple times, I was like, wow, is that Chuck? And then, no, it's Jim from The Office.
Why are they rebooting it already? What was wrong with Chris Pine, 2 years ago? Or 3
I don't know.
years ago?
It's the new Spider-Man.
It's a TV series. It's not...
Well, no, it's not. It's not even
straight
TV.
to Amazon.
Yeah, it's Amazon. It's part. I think they're Prime.
Is it a movie? I thought it was
no, it's a series.
Okay.
I mean, I'll totally watch it. And I thought the Chris Pine movie was great.
Yeah.
Chris Pine's in too much shit. Stop. You don't get to be Wonder Woman's boyfriend and Captain Kirk and Jack Ryan and, get out of here.
The one note I took, I was like, wait, did Verizon just take credit for first responders saving lives? Did you catch that?
No.
So when they were, I think it was like All Our Thanks or something like that they were trying to promote, and like
we kept making fun of Joe during the commercial.
So the end tagline was, it's their job to answer the call. It's our responsibility to make sure they get it. And I was like, did you just take responsibility for first responders saving lives, you jackasses?
No, because that was like Joe's one of our buddies, a paramedic firefighter. We're like, thanks for answering the phone, Joe. Like, making fun of. That's what we were doing during that whole ad. Like,
and then the note, it's apparently remarkably easy to switch a bud plant to water. That apparently takes no time at all.
Again, we're saving lives.
Right.
Like, you couldn't have just called Nestle and go, hey, you got this one? We're making beer.
Right.
Like you guys have
all that water you're taking out of Michigan's lakes. Could you just go ahead and do something?
You guys have water plants, right? We're a fermenter. Like, because they wanted to pat themselves in the back.
Of course they did. And then it's every ad. A Tide ad has completely screwed all of the other commercials with their mini commercials, because every time one of those, because like I said, I kept from that point forward, I kept waiting for every commercial to get turned into a Tide.
And
commercial.
Hopper was surprisingly fit. He fit that role like surprised.
Oh, it was beautiful.
Yeah, because in the beginning it was like,
such
what's
a great
he
job.
doing? Like, and then all of a sudden it's like, all right, he nailed it. He's got it.
Oh, it was amazing. My next all caps note, hey, Westworld comes back in April. Yeah.
Did they need to buy a Super Bowl ad for that though? I think, don't they have a fan base like through the moon?
I don't care.
Right. But you follow what I'm saying though?
Well, I mean, and there may be people that haven't watched it.
What kind of budget you got? HBO? You buy a Super Bowl ad for one of your shows?
A lot.
Jesus
Go
Christ.
No, and it was cool because like people started dissecting. Obviously there's Easter eggs that were planted in the commercial. One of which was the bars that are up on the computer screen at one point. Basically, if you pay attention, it's binary code, and it winds up being the IP address to enter into the Westworld gateway that was on some of the screens.
Did you read
earlier.
the ones and zeros and decipher it?
No, I read that. No, I see. You always say I read that. I read that in a recap.
No, usually you take credit.
Yeah,
for
no,
it.
I read. Yeah, exactly.
I wrote down the ones
in my
and zeros,
head.
right.
I translated from bars to by. Yeah, no, that was not me. But no, very very cool. So like the hope is that we're going to see the other worlds this season, because
Samurai World.
I was saying, because they lightly touched on Samurai World in the finale last year, and there are at least 4 others. So I'm all in. I was so excited. Love the show. Can't wait for it to come back. My opposite reaction to that is about Infinity War. I truly do not care. I don't care what they do with those commercials.
It's too much, dude.
I can't care. I'm tired of the entire universe being at risk.
Every
I
show.
can't.
No.
I'm
Not
done.
just that. Now it's everyone saving the universe at once.
Yeah.
Like, at least they were doing it on an individual basis.
They've been playing up Thanos as the big bad for 15 movies.
Does he not look like Hellboy? Like, if that's not Ron Perlman's voice, like I'm going to riot. Like, when Thanos looks at the screen, it's like, dude, it's Ron Perlman, Hellboy. Like,
yeah, no, it absolutely is. Like I said, I mean, I've lost caring. They
that's one of the ones I don't even think I want to see in the theater.
No, I'll catch it.
It looks amazing. When the first trailer came out a few weeks ago, months ago.
They had a trailer for it with Star Wars.
Well, how many?
Yeah,
how many heroes are in it? Like 30?
All of them.
Well, they're bringing Doctor Strange.
I know.
It's literally everybody. Everybody from that
And
entire
Guardians of the Galaxy.
because the entire universe is at risk, so they're bringing every hero in the universe in, and I just.
Why do you want to blow up the universe? Then where the hell are you going to live, Thanos?
Dude, I like I said, they lost me. Big question: how is Wix still making enough money to buy Super Bowl commercials
for free sites?
Like how is for free websites? Like
I've
how
never
is that
seen
a
a
thing?
website powered by Wix that was any good.
I don't get it.
They look good on the thing. On the
the commercials they look amazing. It's a thing. I did think the I've had the time of my life
5-star
was pretty solid.
Wanted to hate it, ended up loving it.
Yeah,
like
it was
you
very
wanted to not like it
because it's the Super Bowl celebrations and hey, you want to work on that thing and just no. Let them dance. I thought
no, and then they were actually doing it move for move. It's like, all right,
yeah,
they
did it proper. It was pretty solid. Hey, big shout out to Spam. Apparently trying to make a comeback with multiple commercials.
Yes, we're sick of selling only to the Philippines and Hawaii. You got to buy some of this shit too.
I love Spam. You got to fry it up crispy.
You don't pee for like 8 hours though. I made omelets once. It's like it was delicious. But I'm like
all that salt.
3 liters of water later, and I'm like, come on, pee. Nothing.
So
wait, what was it? God bless it. What does it stand for? Sizzling pork and
something. I don't. Yeah,
I remember all the things we used to say it stood for.
Right.
I mean, like,
well, because it was pork, shoulder, and ham. But it was the SP and the M and the whatever.
It's specially processed animal matter.
Right. It's the nugget.
The best part about it though is watching it slide out the can like that lump.
Absolutely, and the sound effect that goes with that. So we talked about continuing commercials. So the Mick Ultra thing with Chris Pratt. I thought it was stupid when they did the first one because I was like, oh well, that's dumb. He shows up and that's the end of it. But then when they showed the later one, I was like, all right, that was cute and funny, good setup.
No.
Whatever.
No.
I mean, it's still Mick Ultra, but
that's why.
it's a thing. Loved the Alexa commercial with all the different actors.
See, I wasn't paying attention. I saw it, but I wasn't paying attention.
It was pretty solid. They had, it was, Anthony Hopkins was one of the voices playing like the evil doctor taking over Alexa. And, she was, some girl, hey, call Brandon. He's doing the British Bond villain. No, Brandon's not available. And, he calls her by name. Creepy. Great commercial. Gotta love it. And then like you were saying, oh my God, look how diverse and caring we are about the environment, everybody. That was basically every second half commercial for the most part.
Look at me.
And if you don't
Pringles.
if you don't buy a Hyundai, you want kids to have cancer. And if you don't buy a snooty Stella chalice, you want people to have crappy water. Thanks, Matt Damon.
$500 for that stupid glass?
Is that what that? I didn't even look.
Yes.
Is that what that cost?
Yes.
Go yourselves. Seriously?
That's what Tulio said. Unless he was wrong, Randy,
I'm looking now.
Oh,
I got to enter my age.
Mother of God.
Right. Like, don't those little straws that Bill Gates is doing enough?
Yeah. Like he's handing out for free.
Now the beer company's got to be water company. No.
Do I want the Mexico chalice, the India chalice, or the Philippines chalice?
Let's give Philippines some clean water. I want to give them to countries that need it.
Like
Mexico and India.
Puerto Rico.
$13 on Amazon.
Oh. Well.
Oh.
Tulio.
Maybe it's donate. No, maybe it was for donate. I don't know.
Tulio. And then the last one I took note of was Mucinex. Hey, go ahead and fake it. Colin's sick to work tomorrow.
Or, unless you're my school district, snow day.
Right.
A lot of happy parents in our district.
Right. No, I can't come to work. My kids are home. I can't find a sitter.
Right.
Got to be home for the
crazy.
kids. Yeah.
So how long before Monday after Super Bowl becomes a national holiday?
How long until they just move it to frickin' Saturday?
They won't.
Why can't it just be Saturday? Why?
Because tradition.
Nah.
I don't know, dude.
Yeah, but I mean, it's like it makes no sense. Like you read all the facts and figures on lost productivity and all that kind of crap today. It makes zero
Ain't nothing
sense.
getting done today.
No,
I think I got like 6 work emails all day.
Yeah, no, just it makes zero sense. I don't get it.
All right, we done?
We are.
What about Steven Tyler going backwards? And
it's creepy.
You know what? I saw that, and it was one of those things where, Kia, I get it. You're trying really hard to be relevant because it's powered by youth.
We don't remember Kias in the 80s because that would have been or the 70s. Then it would have made sense.
Right, yeah. Cause
you're going to go Superman around the track and some weird, no, that sucked. I wanted to buy one less. Then, and that one made me want to buy one less than you should be driving a Kia from someplace Kia commercials. Way less.
And yeah, by the way, Dennis, if you happen to be listening, no, Mike Morris and Jeffrey Feiger were not buying national spot ads. They were buying local spot ads that were open in the
Nor was
inventory.
Hungry Howie's.
No, yeah, nor was Hungry Howie's.
Wallside Windows was not a national sponsor.
Yeah, nobody cares about Wallside Windows. Yeah, no, it's that was not a thing. So
hey, we're gonna wrap things up.
Bursting bubbles
For episode 233 tonight. It is bedtime. Hope you had a good time. I'd like to thank our sponsors, Google and Eero. Thanks for the support. Also like to thank Michelle Gilbert from Comcast, Caston Thomas from Interworks Technology. On behalf of Bob and Dave and Randy, do us a favor. Drink up your drinks, get your phone numbers. You don't got to go home. You just got to get the hell out of here. Drive careful. See you soon. Beat it.
The emergency destruct system is now activated.
Conan, what is best in life? To crush your enemies, see them driven before you, and to hear the lamentation of their women.
Long live Flash. You've saved your Earth. Have a nice day.
I have come here to chew bubblegum and kick ass. And I'm all out of bubblegum.
Nice shooting, son. What's your name?
Murphy. Make the run. The run.
Game over, man. Game over.
It's over, Johnny. It's over.
Nothing is over. Nothing. You just don't turn it off.
I can't say no, and I don't really want to, so.
Well, especially with the back doors open.
Yo! Hold up! Time out! Time out! Y'all take a chill. You need to cool that shit out. And that's the double truth. Rude.
Bob loves it in the can.
I hope this was as much fun for you as it was for me.
That's why I like it in the can.
Joe on the trees.
Bear me.
My job is to make sure this program is morally upright and cultural and wholesome.
Shut up, Mimsy. Shut up, Mimsy. Shut up, Mimsy.
Why would Buick put their cars next to the Bentleys? Why? That's not marketing.
The alphabet.
It's brilliant.
Yeah, I can't take that position.
That analogy sucks because it's right.
Because you're getting your 8-track tuned up.
Are we at a break yet? Yeah, so now I'm just doing stupid stuff to make me laugh.
Venture capital is not the end game.
When are we going to talk about me?
Jane, you ignorant slut.
It's my show. I can say what I want.
Kiss my ass, go home, unplug, get off the goddamn internet. You are everything that is wrong with the internet right now.
You're so white right now.
I'm the whitest guy in the room. Just explain it to me.
I love this city.
I was banging on the wang.
Really? Should we talk about this? Tag team it. Should I keep going or should I stop?
Can I just say, it's been great being on a show that talks about Mickey Rooney dying for 20 seconds and then poop for 10 minutes.
That's all, folks.